to Math Detectives. We are here today to also be using our detective skills to practice our mental math strategies. So we are going to first warm up our detective math brains and using our mental math strategies by solving 3 problems, all with place value. We're going to have to determine in these 3 problems what numbers are in the same place, and those are going to be the ones we can add and subtract together. So let's take a look. First up, we have 58 minus 3. So we want to subtract the numbers that are in the same place. Can you tell me what 2 numbers are in the ones place? Let's talk about the ones place first. What 2 numbers are in the ones place? In 58, that's the 8 because it's all the way to the right. And in 3, it's just 3 because that is all there is. So now we can subtract these numbers. So 8 minus 3 is, that is 5. And then what about this number in the tens place? What do we do with this number in the tens place? It comes to our answer, so we have 55. Everyone read it with me? 58 minus 3 equals 55. Awesome job, 2nd grade. Okay, let's look at this next one. We were subtracting 3 here, but what if we want to subtract 30? I need you to solve 58 minus 30. So what numbers are in the same place? Let's talk about the ones place. What 2 numbers are in the ones place? In 58, it's 8, and in 30, it's 0, because those are both all the way to the right. And then what 2 numbers are in the tens place? What 2 numbers are in the tens place? In 58, the 5 is in the tens place. In 30, the 3 is in the tens place. So we can subtract 5 minus 3 and 8 minus 0. Can you figure out this answer on your own? What would this be? 5 minus 3 is 2, and 8 minus 0 is 8. So our answer is 28. Can you read it with me? 58 minus 30 equals 28. We solved this problem now by subtracting the tens and the ones to get our answer. Okay, we're going to do one last problem all together. Let's take a look at what it is. So all we did is change the sign. Now I want us to do 58 plus 30. We're going to add the 30. So we're still going to work with numbers that are in the same place. So what would 58 plus 30 be? What would that be? It would be 88, because look, 5 plus 3 is 8, that's in the tens place, and 8 plus 0 is 8, that's the ones place. When we add the numbers that are in the same place, we get 88. Can you read it with me? 58 plus 30 equals 88. Good job. Okay, so that was our warm-up for today. And now we're going to look at our learning target for Tuesday. It says, I can solve math sentences using any of our mental math strategies. So yesterday, we were practicing between switching back between our big addition and subtraction strategy, between making the next 10 and taking out a 10. Today, we are going to have to practice switching between subtraction and addition using any of our strategies. So that means place value as well. be those decoding detectives and look at our problem and decide what strategy is the best. Is this addition or subtraction? Can I use place value, or am I going to make this equation simpler? That's going to be up to us and our detective skills by doing what? Looking at the ones place. We talked about this last week with subtraction, and we're doing it again this week because this is how we will tell which strategy we're going to use. We are looking at the ones place. When we look at the ones place in a problem we are given, it will tell us which strategy we're going to use. So that is where all our detective skills focus is going to have to go. What is happening in the ones place? All the way to the right. So that is what I need you to keep in mind. That if you're trying to figure out what strategy am I going to use, I know I need to look at the ones place. So if we come to an addition problem and we're trying to decide what strategy we want to use, we're going to look at the ones place and we're going to ask ourselves this question: are the ones bigger than 10? We've practiced this detective skill before. We're going to ask ourselves, are the ones bigger than 10? If we come to an addition problem and we're looking at the ones and we add them together, are they going to be bigger than 10? Our answer to this question is going to tell us which strategy we're going to use. So if I'm looking at the ones and I've decided, yes, when I add them together, they'll be bigger than 10. Then you're going to make the next 10. You're going to use a strategy where you're going to pull apart the numbers in order to make the next 10 to solve. That is what's going to happen if you answer yes to this question. The ones are bigger than 10, so what I need to do is make the next 10 to solve. But if you're looking at a problem and you add the ones and you go, no, they're not bigger than 10. Then what you're going to do is keep on solving with your place value. So if you answer this question no, you're going to just solve with your place value by continuing to add numbers that are in the same place. So when we come to addition, we're going to ask ourselves, are the ones bigger than 10? Can you say that with me? Are the ones bigger than 10? That's the question you're going to ask yourself. Yes, you're going to make the next 10. No, you're going to add with place value. This is the question we use when we come to an addition problem. But like we talked about last week, what happens when we come to an subtraction problem? When we see a subtraction sign. That is when we're going to ask ourselves the question, can I subtract the ones? That's what we need to ask ourselves. When we're looking at the ones place, can I subtract this from the other? Is that possible? If we answer yes to this question after looking at the ones place, then we're going to solve with place value. We're going to keep going and we can solve our answer using place value. But if you're looking at the ones place and you say, no, I can't subtract the ones because one's too big, then you're going to do the take from 10 strategy. That's when you're going to break apart the number and take from 10. If you answer no, that you cannot subtract the ones. So when you come to a subtraction problem, this is the question you're going to ask yourself. Can I subtract the ones? Can you say it with me? Can I subtract the ones? That is the question you as a math detective need to ask yourself in order to figure out your next step. So today, we are going to practice looking at problems, being detectives by examining the ones place, and asking ourselves, how am I going to determine what strategy we're going to use? Because this is what you're going to do on your math assessment. You are going to be given a subtraction or an addition sentence, and you're going to figure out what is the best way to solve. So it's awesome that we get to practice today so we can be ready to show me what you know. So let's go ahead, get a whiteboard out. I want you to get a whiteboard out so you can practice along with us this math detective skill. Okay, what is our first problem? Dun-dun-dun. It says 34 plus 9. This is 34 plus 9. Okay, as math detectives, we need to look at the ones place. So super scholars, in 34, what number is in the ones place? It's the 4. And then what about the 9? Is this in the ones place? Yes, it is because it's by itself. Okay, this is addition. So the question we're going to ask ourselves is, are the ones bigger than 10? Let's take a look. If I add 4 and 9 together, is that going to be bigger than 10? 4 plus 9. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Will that be bigger than 10? Yes, that's going to be much bigger than 10 because 9's paired to 10 is 1. 4 is bigger than 1. So I know if I add these numbers together, they're going to be bigger than 10. So what strategy do I need to use? They're going to be bigger than 10. What strategy? I need to make the next 10. I need to take from 9 and give it to 34 to make the next 10. So let's start this out together. Okay, so what do we need to take from 9 and give to 34? What's 4's pair to 10? What's 4's pair to 10? It's a 6. So if I add 6 to a 4, I'm going to get a 10 number. So let's take out the 6 from the 9, and that's what we're going to combine with 34. Okay, super scholars, I'm asking you the same challenge where I want you to first practice doing it on your own and then coming back to check your work. You're going to add 34 to 6 to get your next 10, and then add what's left over to find your answer. You can pause the video for as long as you need to make sure that you are accurate. So can you solve this problem? Here we go. Okay, welcome back. How did you do making the next 10? Let's take a look. Did you get the answer 43? Did you get the answer 43? We solved this because 34 plus 6 equals 40. That's the next 10. And then we added to 40 what was left over from the 9. And we got to 43 as our answer. And we know this was the right strategy to use because we looked at the ones place and we asked ourselves, are the ones bigger than 10? Okay, great job solving. Are you ready to use your detective skills again to find our new strategy? Okay, everybody reset. But before we put our detective skills to another test, I have a this or that question for you. So stand on up with me, get out of your seat, and my question for you is, if you had a helper in your house, if you had a personal helper, would you rather it be a robot who would always help you with everything? Or would you rather it be a trained monkey that was able to help you? What would you pick as your own personal helper? A robot or a monkey? What would you choose? Robot, you're gonna hop. Monkey, you're gonna do jumping jacks. I would choose a robot, so I'm gonna hop up and down for 5 seconds. Are we ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is it. Everyone can come sit back down in their seats. And we have our whiteboard out, and we're ready. Up next for us to tackle is 73 plus 6. 73 plus 6. Okay, detectives? We need to look at the ones place, of course. So what numbers are in the ones place? Can you tell me? What are the two numbers we're going to look at? They're both in the ones place. We're going to look at the 3 in 73 and the 6 on its own. Those numbers are both in the ones place. And look, it's addition. It's addition, so we're going to ask ourselves the question, are the ones bigger than 10? Are the ones bigger than 10? Let's think. 6 plus 3. Is that bigger than 10? Yes or no? Give me a thumbs up. 6 plus 3. Is that bigger than 10? No, it's not. It's not bigger than 10. 6's paired to 10 is 4, and 3 is less than that, so we're not going to get to 10. So if we answered no to this addition question, what strategy are we going to use? We're going to solve with place value. So let's keep going with that. Okay. 3 plus 6 is what? It is 9. So we have a 9 in the ones place. And then what about this 7 in the tens place? What do we do with it? It carries over to become part of our answer, and that is 79. So can you read it with me? 73 plus 6 equals 79. Good job, Super Scholars. Okay, can you reset and erase? Because we have one last problem to test our detective skills on. Ooh, let's see what it is. This is 27 minus 9. 27 minus 9. Okay, what do we do, detectives? What's my first job? I need to compare the ones. So can you underline the ones in your equation? What are the ones numbers? They're the 7 and the 9. Those are the ones place. So look at subtraction. So what question are we going to ask ourselves? Can I subtract the ones? Is that even possible? We have 7 ones. Can we take away 9 of them? Are we able to subtract the ones here? Yes or no? No, we're not able to take away 9 from 7. So that tells us what strategy are we going to use to solve? We're going to take from the 10. We're going to take out a 10 to subtract the 9 from instead. I know, we're really awesome at doing this strategy. So you're going to challenge yourself to solve 27 minus 9 on your own. Work it out on your whiteboard and then come back to check. Take it nice and slow. Make sure you're accurate. Here we go. And how did we do, detectives? Did we get the same answer of 18? Can you read the problem with me? 27 minus 9 equals 18. Because when we took out the 10, we subtracted 9 and got 1. We added that 1 to the 17 that was left over and got our lovely answer of 18. And we were able to solve this problem using the correct strategy by looking at the ones and asking ourselves, can I subtract them? Okay, Super Scholars, awesome job using those math detective skills. You, of course, are now going to have the chance to test your skills on your own. So let's clear our whiteboard and look at the possibilities today. Okay, Super Scholars, you have another math choice board. There are 6 problems up here for you to choose. But you only need to choose 2 of them. You're going to solve 2 of these problems. But no matter what 2 you choose, you need to explain how you know which strategy to solve with. So when you're taking your video solving these problems, you need to talk about how you looked at the ones place and were able to determine what the best strategy was by asking yourself either, are the ones bigger than 10? Or can I subtract the ones? That key question is going to give you your strategy. So here are the 6 problems you get to choose from. 83 minus 8, 54 plus 3, 79 plus 7, 33 plus 9, 96 minus 5, and 46 minus 9. You are going to need to determine what the ones place are, and by asking yourselves the key question, which strategy you're going to use. Then you are going to have to solve the problem using that exact strategy that you named. So you can choose any 2 you like. You just need to explain what strategy you're using and why you chose that strategy when you looked at the ones place. You're going to be such awesome detectives like you are in reading, just in math as well. So remember, the 2 questions we ask ourselves are, for addition, are the ones bigger than 10? And then for subtraction, can I subtract the ones? I'm going to write them in the Class Dojo description in case you forget, because those are the questions you want to be asking yourself every time you're looking to solve. Okay, 2nd grade, I'm super excited for us to be sharpening our math skills this week so we can show off just how awesome we are later in the week. So,